Same. I'm impressed with the Bobby and Theory match. We might as well segue to that because that was a match after the women's match, correct?
I love that match, but like I wasn't impressed with it because I've seen Theory stuff and Evolve. When they let him go, that's a talented motherfucker. And Bobby,
Really?
Bobby's a legend in my mind. He can make anybody look great, and he can also make himself look like he looks.
Facts. And in the light of which you just said about Bobby, like I think a guy like Theory is perfect for the way Bobby wrestles, or his style of pro wrestling, I should say. Just being that big old brute and somebody that can bump around like Theory. But I mean, I didn't watch a lot of Theory in Evolve. I didn't watch any of them in Evolve. I watched a little bit of them in NXT. And I saw more of them during the Thunderdome era when I would cut on SmackDown and Raw. So yeah, I mean, with that being said, I wouldn't have known it that I would have expected more, which is why I probably was more impressed with it than you. But end of the day, they had a nice little story there because they built that out of nothing.
Yeah.
So, and it was quick too because that started like 3 weeks ago. I feel like when they had the little flex off or whatever, the baby oil spraying in people's faces or whatever. So yeah,
and props to Theory because Bobby Lashley as a face is difficult because like
as we've seen,
he'll never be the greatest talker in the world. He looks like he can whoop your ass. He has the credentials that says he can whoop your ass. And then, as we saw in the angle with him and Rusev and Lana, he looks like he can take your girl, and he might actually take your girl.
God. One day we're going to have to break down that weird fucking angle, man. I don't know. I think the Vince find the cuck section on Pornhub or something. It was like, what's this? What is black? I can see Bobby doing this right now. Hey Bobby. We got an angle for you. And that was wasn't that the last thing Rusev did before I think his last match was against like was it that dude Humberto Carlito or whatever his name is. Because I've heard him talk about it. How that was the last dude he lost to, or it was like him and like somebody else in a triple threat match. Miro talked about it once in like some pod interview or something, or him when he was twitching or whatever, and was talking about like how they tried to pull a fast one on him and like Vince kind of screwed him on the way out the door to make him look bad. It's pretty interesting shit, but I say all of that because my last memory of Rusev / Miro in WWE was him getting cucked by his wife and Bobby Lashley.
That's like the last storyline I remember of him. Which sucks because I actually have like dope memories of watching Rusev on a SmackDown win like a gauntlet match to get a world title match, and seeing him do that spinning heel kick in person. Holy shit! Like that spinning heel kick and this and the phenomenal forearm are two of the most athletic things I've ever seen in person. And
Rusev can go, man. Or NBA Miro, he can. He can go. And shame on how they kind of did, but that's all them dudes are in AEW therapizing right now from those experiences. So I get it. It sucked, but they're on the bigger and better things. But no, to your point though, it's hard to work a babyface Bobby Lashley, and Theory did quite well with it. I think really I like what I'm seeing from him. Yes, that's a great way to describe him. To say like anything they put in front of him, he doesn't really drop the ball. Like he hasn't really dropped the ball yet.
That promo off on Cena, I was like, ooh, Theory.
That was
Theory
fun.
Kind of getting his shit off. I appreciate it.
Yeah, he's. I mean, I see why Vince loves him. Like, dude, low key is the total package. He's got the look. He can talk. He can obviously go, according to you, more than what we've seen.
Fucking go.
I'm low key like you heard it here first. This will be released on July 8th. I'm a Theory guy.
He does this like run into the corner, like springboard Spanish fly thing, where first time I saw it, I was like, all right, I've been watching this shit for 30 years. Ain't too many times I can say I've never seen that before, and this is one of them.
That is true. especially in this day and age of wrestling. There's not a lot we haven't seen.
I've seen it all.
So that's
but anyway,
take.
How would you book Theory's cash in, and when would you do it?
Man, this is tough, Dub. I've been thinking about this since he got it. I'm like, what is the end result with Roman Reigns? Like, how do you usher an Austin Theory in with Roman? But I'm like, maybe it's not Roman he goes after.
Roman.
Maybe Brock or somebody gets one of them titles off of him at SummerSlam. Because I mean, they're going for the last man standing matches for the unified undisputed titles, not for just the W. Okay, so that's all the straps. Got it. Ooh man, WWE done put themselves in a booking corner with that whole situation. I don't know how it could end good for either party. As I kind of go into Theory's cash in, I kind of getting sidetracked as I think about the main event picture right now. You got these two part-timers, let's just call it what it is. They're both been booked to look like superheroes, and you got Brock that has looked weak in the last two outings. I don't think they're gonna make Brock look weak again, man, in all honesty. So to not make Roman look stupid by losing to a guy like Theory, I think they gotta take that straps off of him, man, and give him the Brock so Theory can become the guy at some point and randomly win these titles. He's not gonna have a long title run, but he gonna be the youngest ever undisputed WWE heavyweight champion. You heard that here first. That's gonna happen. So he can say that, because I mean, who's younger than him that won the undisputed title?
I don't know like how young Randy was when Randy won the world title, but I don't know.
That's the world title, not undisputed though. That's different.
When Brock won the title the first time, there was only one belt, so it still might be Brock.
That is true.
But I don't know. It depends on like.
Oh, even more fitting. Yeah. Even more fitting. So, I mean, that's the only way I can see this happening. I don't see a year-long holding of this case with Theory, man, just because of you do. I can't wait to hear it, because I just seeing where the main event held, they've painted themselves in with Cody getting hurt, and they was about to push him in that direction, and they don't got that no more. You got Roman on some yacht, on some island he probably owned in Samoa or some shit, and you got Brock doing his thing in Saskatchewan, coming down when he feel like it, on his private jet that Vince McMahon essentially paid for with all these ridiculous contracts he's been negotiating over the last 5 to 8 years. So, yeah, man, I don't see this, Dub. So please book this territory for BA so I can see this vision that you have. I don't see it.
So you remember a few weeks back when I booked out how Cody gets the title? Cody still ends up getting the title at some point. Theory takes it off of Cody. Yeah.
Really?
Yes. So, if it were me, Theory takes it off of Cody the Monday after Mania. And Cody doesn't get it back until SummerSlam.
So who's taking the title? So Cody's taking it off of Roman in your scenario from a couple weeks ago, correct?
Oh, well, in my scenario from a couple weeks ago, Seth took it off of Roman. And then Cody takes it off of Seth, or Cody Seth 4. But I still say Seth takes it off of Roman because of Rock interference at Rumble.
Man, I hope you're right.
And you still get Roman Rock at Mania. You still get Cody Seth. You still get Cody Seth at Mania. Cody wins the title. And if you really want to shake shit up, Theory takes that belt off of Cody the next night. And then you keep Cody in that chase. And then by that time, in theory, for lack of a better term, Big E might be back. Montez Ford should be deep into his singles run and ready for the moon. Braun Breaker should be up.
I see what you're saying.
Like, you have your next set of guys. To me, your next set of guys is, if Big E's healthy, it's Big E, it's Cody, it's Seth, it's Braun Breaker, it's Montez, and it's Austin Theory. Those are your next guys.
Do you think Seth was a little blue when he found out that Theory was gonna get in there and get this case, or you think Seth he's happy doing what he's doing?
$3 million a year, he fine.
Facts. He already got all the accolades he could possibly need.
What other accolade could Seth Rollins get at this point? What, King of the Ring?
I can't even knock that. He's not gonna shit on him because I love Xavier, but
like
that's all I will say.
Like what? Like he's won the Rumble, right?
That's a good question.
I think he won the Rumble the year he beat Brock.
When he cashed in?
No. The year he beat Brock
at
clean.
The end of WrestleMania. Oh, was it SummerSlam or WrestleMania? It was a big event. I do remember seeing. Yeah, it opened up Mania. Calling himself
the Beast Slayer.
Yes, I do recall all of that.
I think he won the Rumble
that's when Brock threw the title at Vince.
He's had the Intercontinental, the US, the World title, the Universal title, Tag title. Like, what else can Seth do?
I can't
besides
disagree
just
with
be
any
a
of
steady
that.
hand,
He's done it all.
And then be a break when emergency type of hand, which is another reason I think they put that belt on Theory in case Roman gets hurt, or if Brock takes the belt where Brock gets hurt. Rocket launch your next guy. Fuck it.
Yeah, I think they done maximized the investment of the bloodline at this point. I think you think it's any bloodline fatigue at this point, or you think people still eating that shit up?
Not from me.
I know. Well, that's a good segue into the next other match that happened on that show, man. Our guys, the Street Profits, getting robbed from the Usos. Oh, yeah, it was. I mean, they always put on bangers when they go. So there was the match quality wasn't a shocker. I wouldn't expect anything less, but a bunch of just close finishes and stuff. But you brought up some good points this week, Dub, in our group chat about, especially recently, the narrative in the WWE that they're trying to create behind our guys. Even though we know Montez is on to bigger and better things as far as a singles push, I think there's better ways to go about it than what
we don't need to like break them up in the heel turn kind of way. Like, use this brand split and just break them up.
Correct. And Montez even alluded to it in that interview they leaked some quotes out from, just saying, like, if we had a draft, that would be the perfect way to kind of separate it. Like, why can't they do them like they did the Dudleys, man?
New Day.
They did the Dudleys the same way.
Or the Hardys.
Right.
Like, they've done it before.
There's no reason to have these dudes have a rift. It's just not there.
Now, don't get me wrong.
It doesn't make sense.
I think Montez Ford would be a stellar heel.
Oh, yeah, maybe that's what they do, Dub. Maybe because he's been a face since he's been around. They kind of had this tweener thing going on in their pursuit of the tag titles from the Usos, but they never been full-blown heels, right?
Even when they popped up in NXT, like, as they were kind of building to the titles, they kind of worked heel as, like, just these asshole party guys. They were like the asshole jocks, essentially. But
yeah, absolutely.
They were just so
people
good.
Eat that shit up. Correct.
And that NXT crowd, they're just going to do what they want anyway.
Oh, absolutely. You got two dudes that look like they kick it walking out with solo cups, talking shit.
Yeah.
Sign me up. I would
I remember like their little video vignettes at NXT. I was like, I don't know what this is, but I really fucking like it. Hadn't seen them wrestle a match. I had seen Dawkins in a couple of matches, and I'm like, you can tell he used to be a football player from this how explosively he can move, but I'm like, I don't know what this is. But no,
right.
It just bothers me that that's the way that I think they're gonna go.
It's all over the wall, unfortunately. Like how they gonna do it. But I say that to say, I'm sorry, Doug.
I was gonna say, it might be time to start having some conversations about the Usos.
That's what I was kind of saying. I think the fatigue kind of lies more with them. I love Roman.
Oh, no. I'm not talking about fatigue. I'm talking about, like, as in, like, top 5 tag teams ever. They've been in this main event space, thanks to Big Oos, for going on 2 years now,